Hey guys, have you ever seen a design like this one? Or like this one? It's done by a substance called henna. Maybe some of you have gotten it yourself, maybe some of you have seen people around town who've gotten it, or maybe you've heard of it. Or maybe you haven't. I personally have been doing henna designs for about 2 years now, and it is a form of art that I love and I want to share with you guys. So I am going to be telling you about the origins, how henna is used, and what it's used for, and I'm going to show you a little video clip of a simple henna design being done. So now that we got that over with, let's start out with where henna came from. Henna can supposedly be tracked all the way back to ancient Egypt, where it's said that Cleopatra used it for body designs and that they painted the mummy's nails with them before they went into the tomb. It can officially be traced almost 5,000 years back, where it's been used in countries like Africa, India, Pakistan, and the Middle East. Back then, they used it for its cooling properties, and then it was used by both the rich and the poor. The rich loved it for its beautiful designs, and it was a good substitute for jewelry for the poor who couldn't afford it. Henna has moved to the US, and it came around the late 90s, and it's been a growing trend ever since, and it's something that's become really popular in the recent years. So now that you know where it's come from, let's kind of discuss what it even is and how it even works. Henna comes from a plant, once again from Africa, India, Pakistan, and the Middle East, and it only survives in hot, hot temperatures. It thrives best at about 120 degrees. So when it's growing in about 120 degree weather, you're going to get the best quality of henna and probably more dye from the henna. And it also grows about 13 to 15 feet tall, which, if you can put it in perspective, that's almost 2 to 3 times the height of a normal person, which is crazy. Henna contains a substance called lazone in it, which is a reddish orange dye, and when it's applied to the skin, it'll bind to a protein called keratin. After it binds, it'll safely stain the body. The stain will come out to probably about a light orangish color to almost a dark black, and this is just going to depend on how your skin takes it, the quality of henna you're using, and where you apply it on the body. It is said that if you apply it closer to the hands or to the feet, then it's going to be darker because that skin is thicker, and because that'll contain more keratin for it to bind to. And said that the farther you get away from the hands, it's going to get a little bit lighter because it's less keratin and less thickness. You can kind of see it here, where it's a little bit darker here, and then it gets a little bit lighter as it goes into this design. You can't see it very well because this is a newer design and it hasn't had much time to darken, but I can probably guarantee that this is going to get real dark and this is going to stay about where it is. So on a normal body decoration use, the plant is taken, it's dried, crushed, and then there are several techniques used to make it into the substance that it is. I know some people take water and a mixture of oils like olive oil or eucalyptus oil to make it into almost a muddy texture, which is what gives us the stains that we use. So after the texture is made, then it's applied to the skin, and it takes about half an hour to an hour to dry, and then it gets all crusty and you flake it off and it'll leave this design. Now, the longer you leave the dried substance on, the darker that your design is going to be, and the longer it's going to last. So you want to keep it on as long as possible if you want to keep the design for as long as possible. So now that you know how it's used, we're going to talk about what it's used for. Henna's been around for 5,000 years, so obviously body decoration isn't going to be its only use that someone has figured out to use it for. Back in ancient times, it was actually used more as a medicine than it was for body decoration, and they found many ailments that they could use medicine to heal because of its cooling properties. Some of the common ailments that they would use it for would be including headaches, stomach aches, fevers, open wounds, sunburns, and stuff like that, and it would heal them because they didn't have modern day medicine. Another technique that they used with the henna is they would take goat skin bags, and after the goat skin bags were dried, they would apply henna all over it, a solid coat, and this would essentially bug-proof or moth-proof the bags, and this would help them to have stronger, better quality goat skin bags. Henna is also included in a lot of traditions in India and Africa. One popular Indian tradition is called Mendi Night. And this is a wedding tradition where the bride and her family and friends will get together before the wedding, and they will celebrate the upcoming marriage with a bunch of festivities, food, games, music, dancing. And on this night, the bride will get extensive henna done. The henna can usually range from the fingertips to the elbow, and sometimes they'll do the feet to the knees. And these designs are extremely detailed, and they take several hours and many different henna artists, and they are just gorgeous designs. And the essential purpose of this is that They say until the henna is off the bride's body, they don't have to do any housework. And then they also say that the stronger the henna, the stronger the marriage, and the better the mother-in-law. So that's kind of a fun tradition that they've always stuck to, which is kind of cool. In this day and age, when they do it, they actually usually do the Mendi before the actual Mendi night, because then that way they'll be able to enjoy the festivities and they won't be stuck sitting down having art done on them the whole night, which is kind of cool. So now that you guys know all about the origin and the uses and how it's used, I'm going to show you guys a little clip of me doing henna. This henna took about 25 minutes for me to do, and then I sped it up so it only takes about 3 minutes for you to watch. And it gives you just kind of an idea how the whole design process works. This isn't as good quality of a henna because I cut the cone a little too far, so it's going to be a lot thicker and a lot less detailed than many pictures you will see online on Pinterest and some of those other search engines, but it definitely does show you a cool way that it's done, and it shows a popular lotus flower design. So let's take a look at that.
This hate needs space, need time to forget this taste. 5 days to let it go, till we can be alone. I sit here, lay low, 5 days with the radio. Keep playing these love songs, they rubbing me wrong. First we fight with bits, then we speak in tongues. Hanging on, hanging on, hanging on. Keep making love until we fall apart. We're putting bandages on battle scars. We keep on going till we're in too deep. Impossible to leave. Can't stand this bittersweet. So pour some honey on me. Pour some more honey on me. So pour some honey on me. Pour some more honey on me. I can't go, cause you're leaving. Enough to keep me sweeting. 6 days to let it breathe, or insult the injuries. So 6 days we wait to take back the things we say. Cause you heard the same songs and you turned them off. We just fight with bits, but we speak in tongues. Hanging on, keep making love until we fall apart. We're putting bandages on battle scars. We keep on going till we're in too deep. Impossible to leave. Can't stand this bittersweet. So pour some honey on me. Pour some more honey on me. So pour some honey on me. Pour some more honey on me. Spilling sugar with every blow. Never down, but we're always falling. Taking lessons from animals. Licking wounds that are bleeding honey. These hands they used to hold are now just knocking bones. We don't know where to go. Keep making love until we fall apart. On our battle scars, we keep on going till we're in too deep. Impossible to leave. Can't stand this bittersweet. So pour some honey on me. Pour some more honey on me. So pour some high, 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 honey on me.
Alright, so now you guys have seen an example of the actual henna being done. I did that one last night, roughly 24 hours ago, so you can see just about how it looks after you take it off. I didn't leave this on very long, so it definitely can get a lot darker if you leave it on a lot longer, but I wanted to go to bed. So you guys can see that it'll probably stay about this dark since it's farther away from the hands, but if it were closer to the hands, I would say it might get a little bit more brown, depending on how your skin takes it and depending on a lot of other things. So now you guys are practically pros on everything henna. You guys know where it came from, how to use it, what to use it for, and you even had a little demonstration. So maybe you guys will get the chance someday to maybe do it yourself or get it done on you. Henna has been around for 5,000 years, and it's been a tradition carried by hundreds of thousands of people. So maybe if you get the chance one day, you can be one of those people who carry it on for another decade or so.